That means race 7, F1 Rubber. You're up next.
Ryan Constantino.
Brian, can you pull the Brian Bosley?
Rick Yoder. Scott Petticlerc.
It popped up.
Brian Why Not.
Well, you know, there you go.
They're leaning really hard.
All right, we're all checked in. All we need is our turn marshals from that last race. Our starting order will be Rick Yoder, followed by Ryan Constantino, Brian Bosley, Brian Wynot, and Scott Petticlerc. So, get our marshals out. If everybody would check the dots around your area, please. Make them nice and clean like you had. Hopefully. Thanks, Oliver. Looks good. All right, we got our marshals. Everybody's checked in. Rick Yoder on the toe. Brian Constantino. Brian Bosley. Brian Wynot. Scott Petticlerc. All right, again, good spacing. Everybody should be enjoying round 2 a lot better than the herd of round 1. This is our second heat of 13.5 Superstar. 30 seconds in, we got Brian Bosley, currently the leader. Okay, a little switch up here. Rick Yoder taking the lead with a 10.3 lap time. Ryan Constantino
5 minutes left.
in second with a 10.08. Brian Wynot in third with a 10.4. Brian Bosley in fourth with a 10.3. And Scott Petticlerc in fifth with a 10.6. Current fastest lap is Ryan Constantino with a 10.087. Getting awful close to dipping under that 10 spot. .420 left on the clock. Ryan Constantino dropping to second with a 10.4 lap time. Rick Yoder with a 10.3 currently in first. Followed by Brian Bosley, Brian Wynot, and Scott Petticlerc.
4 minutes left.
First to fifth, you're all within a half second of each other. Hard to tell with everybody spaced out and running on their own clocks, but this is a close call. Rick Yoder in first currently, crossing at a 10.7. Ryan Constantino in second with a 10.3. Brian Bosley with a 10.4 in third. Brian Wynot with a 12.1 in fourth. Scott Petticlerc with a 10.5 in fifth. Brian Constantino's 10.087 still holding up as the fastest lap so far. 3 minutes 15 seconds on the clock. Constantino taking the lead with a 10.2 lap time there. Brian Bosley now in second with a 10.3. Rick Yoder in third with a 11.3 on Rick's last lap. Brian Wynot in fourth with 11.5, and Scott Petticlerk in fifth with a 10.7 on that last lap. 2:15 on the clock. Brian Constantino almost 0.2 of a second behind Brian Bosley in first.
2 minutes left.
Minute 45 on the clock. Brian Bosley currently in first place, followed by Ryan Constantino, Rick Yoder, Brian Wynot, and Scott Petticlerk. Brian crossing at a 10.6 on that last lap. Brian a 10.9. Rick Yoder a 10.4. Brian Wynot was a 10.7 on his last lap, and Scott Petticlerk a 10.7. Minute 15 on the clock. Race 7, F1 Rubber, you're going to be coming up.
1 minute left.
Down to the final minute. Brian Constantino currently in the lead, followed by Brian Bosley, Rick Yoder, Brian Wynot, and Scott Petticlerk. Brian crossed at a 10.4. Brian Bosley a
45
10.6.
seconds left.
Scott a 10.6. Rick Yoder a 10.8 on his last lap. Brian a 10.5 on that last lap.
30 seconds left.
Brian still holding that fastest lap time at a 10.087.
15 seconds left.
There's the bell. Keep on running. Everybody keep running. You got one last fast lap probably here. Keep running. And that's a race. Brian Bosley with the win, 35.607. Brian Constantino, second place, 35.608. Rick Yoder, a 34.601. Brian Wynot, a 34.608. And Scott Petticlerk, a 34.610.
Good job, Brian.